Ever feel like you're doing this teaching thing alone? You don't have to be. Shared teaching is all about sharing the workload through the power of collaboration and teamwork. Together, we'll walk through all the difficult parts of teaching and learn how to streamline our processes, fine-tune our time management, and develop a more manageable workload. If that sounds like a dream come true to you, then welcome to the Shared Teaching Podcast. Let's share in the teaching to make those dreams a reality. Now here's today's Shared Teaching. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Shared Teaching Podcast. I'm your host, Susan, the creator and person behind Shared Teaching, and I am very excited you're back for another new episode. And thank you for taking time to listen. This is going to be one of my shorter episodes. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit stuffy. I'm getting over some kind of head cold, sinus infection. I don't even know, but I sound horrible and I don't feel the best either. So I'm going to make sure this is short, but I am excited. This is episode number 75, which means it's another little milestone here on the Shared Teaching Podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey, and it can only go up from here and get better as we go. I will be publishing new content all summer long, hopefully getting in some really cool guests on the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And today was actually my last day of the school year. Very exciting, packed up my classroom, a little bittersweet. I had the best class this year. It was such a nice high note to end on, considered the year before was one of my absolute worst classes I think I've ever had in terms of behavior. It was just horrendous. And this year I had very few behaviors, just a couple students that I had some issues with, but that is how it always is, right? I don't feel like you ever just have like the most amazing, perfect class. Maybe you do. Maybe I'm just in the wrong classes. But anyway, I'm glad to be wrapping up the school year. I do have some training I have to go to early tomorrow morning and the following day. But then finally, like I've been joking all week, I can die on Friday. So I will just continue taking my cold medicine and mask up and all will be right with the world, right? Okay, so let's get on with these end of year celebrations. Speaking of celebrations, and I am bringing you the top 10, at least the ones that I found interesting that I like. These will have a little bit of prep. Some will have practically no prep. Some you can just do on the fly. So if you're looking for some time filler in the last few days as you're wrapping up your own school year, this is a great episode for you. Okay, so the first one I have is Minute to Win It games. If you're not familiar with Minute to Win It, it used to be a game show. It might still be on. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. But there are a lot of teachers that have taken and adapted some of these games, including We Are Teachers. If you're familiar with them, they have a really great blog post, and I will link that in the show notes. So make sure you go to sharedteaching.com/podcast, and you can see this episode at the top. And you can read the show notes from there. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, then you can just click right in from the description of this podcast episode, and it will take you to these links that I'm mentioning. But anyway, We Are Teachers has a great blog post about 25 different Minute to Win It games that are just perfect for your elementary classroom. Coming in number 2 is paper airplane races. Look up some different paper airplane styles, challenge your students to build them, and then have a little competition. Race their designs, see which design outperforms the other ones. A little bit of fun, and kids love building paper airplanes in class. Number 3 is abstract art activity, or really any art activity. My students can't get enough of drawing because we don't have time for that. No, you cannot color right now. And so they love it when I give them the chance to draw and color. And using Art Hub is one of my favorite go-to channels for finding kid-friendly drawing projects. And they really like following along with this father-daughter duo to create fun-themed art. And I really like that it shows a kid doing it alongside the adult, because it shows my students that they can do it just as well as the girl in the video. Recently, I heard of the 3D art design in Art Hub. If you search for abstract art, it's a really unique and time-filling project your students will love drawing and coloring, and it will take them a while, so it's perfect. Okay, number 4 is Trivia Day. Now this will challenge you a little bit more. You're going to have to do a little bit of prep work for this, but it can be an amazing fun day. Involve your grade level, and you can host a grade level trivia day. You and your coworkers can come up with some fun questions about things that have happened throughout the school year, and even sprinkle in some content review for a game show style day that your class is sure to love. Next up, number 5, we have Make Your Own Sundae Bar. Now this is an oldie but a goodie, and for good reason, right? It's simple to do. You just need a few toppings, some ice cream, and you're going to have a fun-filled day the students will remember. If you ask parents to send in some items, this day will be even more of a breeze. And what makes it even easier, I've heard, I believe it was last year on Facebook, is if you use an ice cream sandwich instead of ice cream scoops of ice cream. So you put the ice cream sandwich down, sprinkle on some sprinkles, whipped cream, cherry, whatever toppings your students want, and that's their sundae. And you didn't have to scoop any ice cream to do it. Like, how much simpler can it be? Ice cream sandwiches for the win. Going along with food, we all know students love food. Number 6 is talk about a great year. So how about a taco bar? You can again have families donate ingredients to make this year a taco bout. That pun does not play as well in my head as it does out loud. But feel free to make a taco bar and have just a variety of shells, maybe lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, meat, and just have your students make some tacos, have some fun. I do want to caution you with any of the food things, make sure you've cleared it with all the families, that your students don't have any allergies, that it's okay for the school to allow you to serve food. I know my school specifically asks for a signed permission slip from parents, so make sure you go ahead and go through all those main details before you plan a food party. Okay, one last food party. Number 7 is a cereal bar. Ask your class to vote on their favorite cereals and purchase a few of them. Or grab a few randomly, and then after they have them vote on their favorites. Add some cartoons and you're all set for a fun day of cartoons and cereal bars. What could be better, right? Number 8 is a dance party. Again, an oldie but goodie. A dance party is always a great hit, especially if you allow the students to become the DJs. Make a list of appropriate titles they can choose from, or have them use Go Noodle and show off their dance moves. Better yet, dance alongside them. They always love to see the teacher join in. Number 9 is a glow party. Having a glow party is a great way to have an end of the year celebration. And this idea gets even better when you partner it with the dance party, disco lights, and some glow sticks. You can learn how to host a great glow day through a post that will be linked again in the show notes by We Are Teachers. They have some great ideas on there if you haven't followed them yet. And last but not least, my top 10 idea for an end of the year celebration is to create a movie. Work with your class to create an end of the year celebration movie. This will have to be done a little bit ahead of time to gather all the pictures that are needed. And then you're going to share the link out once it's finished with families to watch at home. You can create it in Google Slides, you can do iMovie, you can do Windows Movie Maker, whatever you happen to have as the free movie making template on your computer, you can do. I believe even PowerPoint lets you turn your slide into a video if you just find the right directions. And then I have some slideshow templates in my Teachers Pay Teachers store that help you make creating that movie a easy breeze, because then you just have the templates you slide in that tell you what you're looking at, and then you put the pictures afterwards and it all looks nice and seamless. And the students love being able to add their touch to the slideshow, especially if they're tech savvy. Maybe you can have them do a little part of it, like, okay, you're in charge of, from January to whatever, May, right? Oh, this group is in charge of when we went to the field trips. This group is in charge of when we had our, Fun Fridays. Whatever it is, you can break it apart and have different groups in your class responsible for different parts of the slideshow. That would be a very nice, cool experience of having everyone work together to put that together. Okay, let's run down those again real quick. Number 1 was Minute to Win It games. Number 2 is paper airplane races. Number 3 is the abstract art activity. Number 4 is trivia day. Number 5 is make your own sundae bar. Number 6 is a taco bar. Number 7 is a cereal bar. Number 8 is a dance party. Number 9 is a glow party. And number 10 is to create a movie. Hopefully you found those some really great tips for finding some end of the year celebrations. If you have a favorite one I didn't mention, go ahead and rate and review this episode in Apple Podcasts, and then we can go ahead and see what idea you have, and maybe I'll even share it and add it to this blog post. Thank you so much for listening, and tune in next week for an all new episode. Bye for now.
If you've loved this show, then join me in sharing the teaching,
hitting that subscribe button,
and leaving us a review on
iTunes,
so we can be found by more teachers like you who are ready to start sharing the workload. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Find new episodes each week on sharedteaching.com.
Thanks for listening to the Shared Teaching Podcast.